Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's get crafting. Alright friends, for this DIY, we are going to take this board that was in the scrap area at Lowe's, and we're going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I'm not going to change the size. I'm not going to cut it. This is exactly the size that it was. It's very big. It's about 54 inches by about 9 inches, I believe. And yeah, I mean, we're just going to give it those 2 coats, and then we're going to put the word antiques right on it. I used my Cricut to use or to cut these letters, and I'm just going to start placing them vertically. I'm going to start with each top and bottom and work my way to the middle. That way every letter is about the same width apart. It's not perfect, but it is very, very close. Once I had the letters where I want them, now I am going to take a makeup sponge, one of those like wedge sponges, and I'm going to take some Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the charcoal tone, and I'm just going to distress the edges just a little bit. Again, there's no right or wrong way. You add as little or as much as you want, and then let it dry. And once we're done with this, we're done. So easy. I mean, I got lucky that I found this board right in this size, and it's one of those boards but you really don't know what to do because it's so long and so thin, but I thought something like this would be perfect for it, and I love the way it turned out. Friends, don't forget that this month's giveaway is a pair of premium scissors. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is watch and comment. Any comments made in April of 2021 will be entered for this giveaway. All right, for this DIY, we're going to take this board. Now, this is the only board that was not thrifted, and I am going to, actually, I got it at the Target dollar spot. It was $3, and the reason why I have it here is because I had a vision for it, and I just had to add it. So all we're going to do is add 1 coat of this Waverly, oh my God, chalk paint in the ink tone. Once it was dry, I'm going to lightly distress it on the edges and a little bit in the middle just to have some of that white of the original board pop through. And then I'm going to dust it really, really well because I want to make sure that anytime I am going to place a decal with vinyl, that it's going to be very, very dust free and clean. This wooden family I got also at Target dollar spot. It was, I believe, $3 as well. And I did use my Cricut to cut out the word "our," and I placed it right towards the center. For the family wooden word, I am just going to kind of dry brush some white on it. I want a lot of that wooden tone to still be there. So that's all I did with that. I'm going to place more of the jute twine. The original one was a little too short. I wanted it to be a little bit longer. So this one is from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to tie it. And then I'm going to hot glue the family word right underneath that "our." And now it's time to add some florals. These are from Walmart. There's some lamb's ear that I love, love, love. And then I am going to hot glue as well as staple. Then I'm going to use 2 of these pink flowers from the Dollar Tree and do the same thing. Place them right on top. And then once we're done stapling, we're done with this one, guys. I think it turned out super cute. And I know it was not thrifted, but again, I just had this vision for a black and white and pink board or sign, and I wanted to include it. But I think it turned out super, super cute. Friends, I would love to connect with you on Instagram. I am constantly posting behind the scenes little hauls that I do. So if you have not connected with me there, I ask that you consider doing so. I do have the link to my page down below. For this next DIY, I am going to take this board that I also found in the scrap area at the hardware store, and I am going to stain the edges using Waverly Antiquing Wax, and I'm going to stain about 1 inch to 1.5 inches all the way around. Once again, this board was already this size. I did not have to do any cutting with this board. Once the edge was dry, I then taped it with some painter's tape, making sure that I was taping only about 3/4 of an inch. That way, that's going to be a rim, like a frame for my board or for my sign. And once I had everything taped, now I am going to give 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white all down the center. And then, of course, once the paint was dry, I'm going to pull the tape, and now we have what it seems like a frame, but really it's just the board. I'm going to take this wreath form that I got at Michael's. I have yet to use it, but it was the exact size that I needed. I'm going to trace a circle right on the middle of the board. I used a permanent marker, but I am going to trace it with one of the Artisa acrylic markers just so that it's a little bit thicker. And then once I have it where I want it, I'm going to take another Artisa marker, and I am going to freehand some little berries and flowers and leaves on 2 sides of the ring. Using my Cricut, I cut out the phrase "Bless Our Home," and I'm just going to place it right in the center, and then I am going to stencil it using Waverly chalk pen in the ink color, and again, one of those makeup wedge sponges. And once it was done, I just removed the stencil, of course, let it dry, and we're done with this one, guys. Such a beautiful little sign here. It's actually not that little. It's pretty good size. And I love that it's solid wood, and it's something that was free-handed, and I just love when it's like that because it has that personal touch. I am going to take this piece of leftover, kind of like a tabletop. It was part of a sewing machine that I thrifted a long, long time ago. I broke it down into several pieces, and through the months, I have used several pieces for different projects. This one was where the sewing machine was right in the middle, because you can see it had that rectangle already cut out. After I cleaned it very well, I am going to give it one coat of primer. This is Kiehl's primer with a stain blocking formula, and I also then gave it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Once the paint was dry, I'm going to take this fabric that I recently got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to cut a piece off of it to cover enough with about 1 inch to 2 inches excess to the sides of that middle section. So what we're going to do is we are going to staple it in place. So basically I'm going to start stapling it, and I'm kind of going in opposite. So once I do one corner, then I do the opposite corner, and then I do the opposite side. You know what I'm getting. So that way it's nicely stretched out, but I don't want the fabric to look stretched out. I just want it to be nicely stretched so that it's not wrinkly.
Come to the water where you will find peace. Take a step in.
Using my Cricut, I cut out a phrase from, actually as part of lyrics from one of my favorite worship songs, and I'm just going to start placing it all around the frame, and then I am going to stencil it using, again, a makeup wedge sponge and a mixture of white paint from Rust-Oleum as well as coastal blue from Rust-Oleum. I'm going to mix it until I have a very light blue, and then I am going to, just stencil it.
Get down on your knees. Come to the mountain while taking in the view. You will find that life is greater than you knew. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight. Oh, you're broken and you're shattered.
All right, so we're almost done. I'm just going to remove the stencil here, let it dry, and then I am going to add a piece of nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and just staple it to the back. That way it can be hung from there. And this one is one of my favorite. Not only does it have one of my favorite lyrics from a worship song, but I just love that blue and white combination. I think it looks so, so adorable.
You pick up the pieces and you let the bridges burn. So come to the water, you're sailing with the breeze. Take a step into the river where you will find peace. Where you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you.
My friends, this is the perfect time to let you know that this video is in collaboration with other beautiful, talented DIYers, and we're all from Ohio. And we got together today to bring you tons of thrift flips. So I am going to have the next person linked down below that you get to go to. So that being said, each of us are going to make a DIY that it's all about Ohio. And what I'm going to make is a wooden sign with the phrase "our home" and replace the O with the state of Ohio. We each are also going to be giving you a little bit of information about, or facts about, our state. The fact that I chose was that Ohio became a state in 1803, and I thought it was pretty interesting because at first I saw a different date in the 1900s. It was like 1953 or something. I'm like, what? That can't be right. Well, it turns out that there was some discrepancy, and that's the date that actually became official. However, the year that it was actually, I guess where it became a state, right, was 1803. All right, so enough about that. I don't know if you've been following as I'm just talking here. So all I did, again, this board was one that I got at the scrap area at the hardware store. So it was already this size. I'm telling you, I get so lucky finding these. And then I gave it 2 coats of regular household latex white paint. Then I cut out the phrase "Our Home," and again, replacing the O with the state of Ohio and the year it was established. And I'm just going to place it once again vertically. Now this board, I want it to be where it could be outside as well as indoor. So I am going to seal everything using polyurethane, but varathane in the crystal clear. I'm going to give it a couple coats. That way it can be used outdoors and it'll be just fine. But with that said, that's it, guys. This one turned out super cute. And I know it's very, very custom to our state, but however, it can be done with any other state, and I think it turned out beautiful. But this is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this video, and I hope it gives you inspiration to create your own signs. And if you're visiting for the first time, or if you're visiting from the hop, I ask that you consider subscribing and joining our YouTube family. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I always appreciate your time coming weekly back and back again to watch my videos. I have a playlist here with tons more of inspiration for you. Check it out. I'll see you later, and you have a blessed day. Bye.